Hello everyone, welcome to Lukmaan IAS. Today we are going to have the Hindu newspaper analysis dated 27th of September 2023. In today's newspaper analysis, we are going to cover all those important topics from the newspaper that are important for the UPSC examination. And we are also going to cover a mapping topic, and this mapping topic is a series of mapping discussions that we have started taking in the beginning of the Hindu newspaper analysis. And this mapping topic will help you to solve questions in the prelims exam, and also for the mains exam you will get some understanding that how to draw map as part of your answers that you are writing. So with this, let us start the discussion. Let us quickly see the topics that we are going to cover in today's discussion session. Okay, so these are the list of articles that we are going to cover. So let us talk about the first topic, which is a mapping topic. Okay, so we are going to discuss about this mapping topic. Name of the topic is Tigray region. Okay, Tigray region. So this Tigray region has been in news for many reasons. Okay, so for many reasons this Tigray region has been in news. So we need to understand where is this region located, and also we need to understand about the significance of this particular region. So as we can see in the map, okay, so I'm just going to draw an outline map of the Tigray region, okay, just the bordering area of the Tigray region. So this is the region which is known as Tigray region. So where is it located? It is located to the north of Ethiopia. So this Tigray region, okay, this Tigray region, Tigray is a part of Ethiopia, okay, it's a part of Ethiopia, and Ethiopia is a country. It is a country in the Horn of Africa, okay. So where is Ethiopia located? Ethiopia is located in the Horn of Africa. It is known as Horn of Africa. Ethiopia is located in the Horn of Africa. This is important. Now we need to see how many countries border Ethiopia. So this Ethiopia, it is a landlocked country, okay, it is a landlocked country, means this particular country is bordered by other countries. It does not have a maritime border, it does not have a coastal region, okay. So let us see which countries are bordering Ethiopia. So one of the country is Sudan. Sudan is a country that borders Ethiopia. Then we have South Sudan. South Sudan is also a country, okay. Third is Kenya, okay. Kenya is the third country. Then fourth country is Somalia. Somalia is the fourth country. Then Djibouti is the fifth country, okay. Then Eritrea is the sixth country, okay, Eritrea. So this Eritrea, Djibouti and Somalia, they do have coastal borders. However, Ethiopia does not have a coastal border. It is totally a landlocked country, and its capital is Addis Ababa. And the northern portion of Ethiopia is Tigray region. This Tigray region has been a source of conflict. So here lot of conflicts has happened in the past, and most recent conflict has happened in the year of 2020, where there are some separatist sections. So like, they want to divide Ethiopia, they want to let's say like, divide Ethiopia, and they want to, let's say like, make this Tigray region as an autonomous territory, okay, that's the thing. And also there are many other tensions that are happening. We will not go into the conflict in detail, but like this mapping is important of this region. Now also let us see this to the right corner of this map. Here it showcases the shaded territory, that this is the African continent. To the, let's say like, northeast of Africa, let's say to the eastern portion of Africa, this is known as Horn of Africa. This is where Ethiopia is located. So having understood this, let us now quickly see some other maps also. So the Tigray region that I have showcased, this is, let's say, a bigger version of the Tigray region, okay. Here we see that UN ruled Ethiopian Eritrean border, okay. So UN ruled Ethiopia Eritrea border. So this is one thing. So this is Tigray regional state, okay, and pre-1991 border of Tigray. So there has been a long let's say like, history of struggle in the Tigray region. So where is Ethiopia located? Ethiopia is located over here. Okay, so this is where Ethiopia is located. So it is there in the Horn of Africa. Okay, so in Horn of Africa we have many countries. Okay, and also we see that Red Sea is there. It shares, let's say, maritime border with Eritrea. Okay, so then we have Gulf of Aden, Indian Ocean. Okay, so this is the map of Africa in detail. So having understood the first topic, let us quickly go to understand an article which is an editorial topic in the newspaper. It says, with climate change, tackling new disease scenarios. This article has been written by two prominent authors, and these authors talk about, let's say, issue of climate change and health. Okay, how climate change is associated with human health and disease. So name of the topic is with climate change, tackling new disease scenarios. With climate change, tackling new disease scenario. Okay, with climate change, tackling new disease scenarios. So in this article, the author has talked about a report. Okay, the report which is released by, okay, this particular report is released by Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Okay, in short it is known as IPCC. So what is IPCC? IPCC is an intergovernmental body. So this body does research on science of climate change. Okay, means like what is the science behind climate change, and it shares the science of climate change with various member countries so that these member countries can take informed policy decisions to address the issue of climate change. Presently IPCC has 195 members. Okay, it has 195 member countries. Okay, it has 195 member countries, and this organization has been established by World Meteorological Organization and World Environment. So there is a body which is, let's say, United Nations Environment Program. Okay, UNEP, like that. So two bodies have established. So one of the bodies, World Meteorological Organization. The IPCC, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, they have released various reports, and one of the report is known as Sixth Assessment Report. Okay, Sixth Assessment Report. So this Sixth Assessment Report that it has released, so it is a very comprehensive report that talks about the science behind climate change, and this report has been sparked outrage in the world. The climate enthusiasts, people, let's say, who support the climate, who support the environmental concern cause, so they talk about implementation of, let's say, more programs, more measures by different governments to address the issue of climate change. Okay, so in this context we are going to understand an important issue. So that issue is that, how this climate change is associated with, right, how it is associated with disease outbreak. Okay, how it is associated with disease outbreak. So what are the parameters of climate change that can affect the outbreak of disease? What kind of disease? Disease that are led by, let's say, mosquito and other vector-borne diseases, for example, dengue, malaria, etc. Okay, so the parameters of climate change are, so I'm going to write about those parameters. Okay, so that has something to do with the outbreak of disease. One of the parameter is temperature. Okay, temperature and temperature change. Second parameter of climate is humidity. Okay, humidity. Humidity means the amount of water in air which is there. Okay, so humidity. Then third is precipitation. Okay, third is Precipitation. So what is precipitation? Precipitation means rainfall that happens. Okay. So these are the parameters that affect the climate of a particular region. Okay. So if these parameters change, so they also change the frequency of disease outbreaks in various regions. Okay. So in this article they have listed about various kinds of diseases. What diseases that they have talked about? I'm going to just speak about those diseases. So these are known as neglected tropical diseases, zoonotic diseases, vector-borne diseases, antimicrobial resistance, and environmental contamination. So diseases that they have mentioned include, let's say, like, influenza, measles, Japanese encephalitis, dengue, diarrhea, among others. Okay, so these diseases they have mentioned, and they say that because of climate change, these diseases may reoccur with high frequency. Okay, so recently the IPCC report has also highlighted that the frequency of occurrence of these diseases has increased, right? And also in this article they have mentioned about two different let's say programs. One of the program is the integrated disease surveillance program. Okay, so the government of India does have some program. It is known as integrated disease surveillance program. Okay, integrated disease surveillance program, IDSP. What is this? This is a program on of the government of India through which, let's say, we can do a surveillance of those regions where there is a likelihood of occurring a disease, and also we do surveillance of those regions, places where the disease has already occurred. Okay, to see the likelihood of it occurring in the future. So this is one of the program, and apart from this there is a platform also, and name of this platform is known as Integrated Health Information Platform. Okay, this is known as Integrated Health Information Program Platform. Integrated Health Information Platform, IHIP. Okay, this is the thing. So in this article they have talked about that a unified approach termed as One Health, which integrates monitoring human, animal, plant and environmental health, recognizes this interconnectedness. So in this article they have highlighted about one important aspect, that is interconnectedness of, let's say, health of various things. So this issue is known as One Health. Okay, what is One Health? One Health means the human health, animal health, health of plants and health of the environment, they are interconnected with one another, and we need to see them as unified thing, unified entity, and we need to address all the problems in any one of these parameters. If we are able to address all these things, only then the health of the planet will be in right stage, means like it will be good. Otherwise the health of the planet is going to deteriorate. So we need to adopt One Health, let's say One Health approach, where we need to take care of the health of human beings, health of animals, health of plants, and also health of the environment in our planet. Okay, so that's going to assist us in this. And also in this article they have talked about that globally there is an obsession with the enigmatic disease X, but it is familiar annual cycles of known agents such as influenza and all. So in this article they have said protecting ecosystems, fostering collaboration and embracing One Health paradigm would be the best defenses against outbreak of diseases, right? Against outbreak of diseases. That's the thing. So we have a question for you. You need to write an answer to this question, and after writing an answer you can share your answer with us. It is Jahidul at lukmaanias.com. After you write your answer, you share your answer with us on this email address, then we are going to evaluate it. It says, how can climate change influence the geographic distribution of infectious diseases and what strategies should be employed to adapt to these changing disease patterns and reduce their impact on human population. Okay, so this is a 10 marker question. Try to write an answer in 150 words. Okay, you need to write an answer in 150 words to this question. So having understood this, let us now quickly go to the other topic. This is another article. It says, is Ukraine's counteroffensive working? Right? As we all know that a war is going on between Russia and Ukraine. First of all, let us quickly see where is Ukraine located. So this white colored map that you see, right? So this is the map of Ukraine. Okay, this is the map of Ukraine. And Ukraine directly shares border with Russia. Okay, Ukraine shares border with Russia. And Russia has started attacking Ukraine way back, let's say like it's been more than a year now. So it's been more than 13-14 months that it has started attacking Ukraine. And as part of its attack, it has, let's say, captured the, let's say, eastern portion of Ukraine. It has captured many areas in the eastern portion of Ukraine. However, to defend itself, Ukraine has started taking help from Western countries. Okay, it has started taking help from Western countries. Okay, and Western countries, including the United States of America, they are helping Ukraine with ammunitions, with, let's say, like, human beings who are going to fight for the cause of Ukraine. So let us understand this topic. It is Ukraine's counteroffensive work. So it says, name of the topic is Ukraine's counteroffensive working. Okay, so we need to address this. Now, what do we mean by counteroffensive? We will understand. So this topic is with reference to Russia versus Ukraine war that is happening. Okay, Russia versus Ukraine. So we need to understand what do we mean by counter-offensive warfare technique. On one side, let's say like, on one side we have Russia, and on other side we have Ukraine. That's the thing. And Russia has, let's say, captured this much territory of Ukraine. But through the counter-offensive measures, Ukraine want to recapture this particular territory. Okay, it want to recapture this particular territory. And for that purpose, Ukraine is being supported by United States of America. So far, USA has, let's say, provided ammunitions worth $40 billion, okay, $40 billion to, let's say, Ukraine. They are going to provide more assistance. However, whatever assistance they have got, within 2 weeks of time frame, all like 20% of the ammunition got exhausted. Okay, 20% of ammunition got exhausted. So that's why Ukraine is now thinking of, let's say, like, doing like going for the warfare in a different way altogether. Okay, in a different way. Now, one of the way that Ukraine has adopted for the counter-offensive measure is it has a very special name and it has a special meaning also, that is known as blitzkrieg. Okay, so we will understand this blitz, K-R-I-E-G. Okay, we are going to understand about blitzkrieg. So what is blitzkrieg? Blitzkrieg is a kind of attack that is done all of a sudden, means like sudden attack on the enemy. So when Ukrainian forces attack on Russian forces, all of a sudden, in a flash of light, okay, to destroy their ammunitions, to kill their, let's say, like army personals, that is known as blitzkrieg. Okay, so Ukraine has adopted this technique, blitzkrieg technique. And is Ukraine the first country to adopt such techniques? No. There are many countries in the world that have adopted such techniques in the past also, and that we are going to understand through a question. Okay, so in this article they have talked about the counter-offensive measures that Ukraine has adopted, let's say, like, to recapture its own territory from Russia. So this particular question, let's say initially it talks about the blitzkrieg attack, okay, operation. So it defines what is blitzkrieg and all. And now in this question they are asking, in this context, which of the following is not an example of the blitzkrieg attacks in history? One of the option is the German invasion of Poland in 1939. This is a blitzkrieg attack. Second, the Israeli invasion of Sinai Peninsula in 1967. This is also a blitzkrieg attack. By the way, I have talked about Sinai Peninsula in previous mapping sessions, okay? Where is it located? It is located to the north of Red Sea, okay? To the north of Red Sea. That's the thing. So I can show that thing also. Where is Sinai Peninsula? See, we see, so in this map, Red Sea is not there, but in the previous map, there was Red Sea, okay? So like that you can see, that's the thing. Then the Iraqi invasion of Kuwait in 1990, it's also a blitzkrieg attack. However, the fourth, this one was not a blitzkrieg attack, and they are asking which one is not a blitzkrieg attack. So option D is the right answer. In our case, D will be the answer, okay? We need to remember. So with this, let us now talk about another question. You can go through the explanation in your free time, and you can also download this PDF from the YouTube video. Now let us talk about this. It says tackling the various myths within the field of microbiome research, okay? So in this article, they have talked about, they have busted basically various myths that are associated with microbiome research. In this article, they have discussed about, let's say, like 11 such parameters, okay? 11 such parameters. Parameters have been discussed in this article, okay? So now let us understand about what is microbiome. So name of the topic is busting myths related to microbiome research, okay? Microbiome research. Let's understand about what is microbiome. This is an important topic. It is important for science and technology section. Microbiome. So microbiomes are microorganisms, okay? They are microorganisms. These microorganisms can be bacteria, they can be fungi, they can be virus also, okay? These microorganisms can be bacteria, can be fungi, can be virus also. And also these microbiomes are found in human body as well, okay? They are found in human body. So inside the human body, these microbiomes are found in skin, in the large intestine, okay? Large intestine, etc. So it is found in human body also. And these, I mean, like these microbiomes are found in huge number. I mean, like they are found in huge number in human bodies. Generally, these microbiomes are not harmful. Generally, they are not harmful, okay? Why? Because they share a kind of symbiotic relationship, okay? They share a kind of symbiotic relationship with human beings, okay? Relationship with human being. They share symbiotic relationship with human being. That's the thing. Now, what kind of symbiotic relationship? These microbiomes get nutrition from our body. They get a place to stay, right? They get nutrition, they get, let's say, place to stay also, habitat also. And in turn, they, let's say, break down some kind of, let's say, like, break down large food molecules. They help the human body to get nutrition and all. So there is a symbiotic relationship. However, these microbiomes may affect people when they get old, okay? When the immune system of the body becomes weakened. So at that point of time, it may be harmful to a human body. and let's say during pregnancy, the mother does not transfer this microbiome to the baby directly. During pregnancy, during surgical procedures, some portion of the microbiome can get transferred. So this is what is mentioned in this article, and in this article they have mentioned about one specific microbiome which is known as Clostridium difficile. Okay, it is known as Clostridium, okay, Clostridium difficile. Okay, this particular microbiome is mentioned in the article. And what is this? This is a kind of bacteria. Okay, it is a kind of bacteria, and it is found in the large intestine in the human body. Okay, it is found in large intestine. That's the thing. So having understood this topic, let us quickly solve a question. It says, recently seen in the news, Clostridium difficile. Okay, Clostridium difficile, which causes an infection of the colon. The longest part of the large intestine is it's a bacteria. Okay, correct answer is option A. So having understood this topic, let us now quickly move to the another topic. Okay, you can go through the explanation in free time. Now this topic is important. It says, Judiciary is losing talent as government sits on names, Supreme Court of India. So let's talk about this topic. This topic is related to appointment of judges. Okay, it is related to appointment of judges. So I'm not writing the exact topic name. However, we are going to understand this thing. So this topic is important under GS paper 2 of the mains exam, and it is also a part of polity. So this is, let's say, important for prelims also. So in this article they have talked about that Supreme Court of India basically does have a collegium. Okay, it has a collegium. So what is collegium? Collegium is a kind of, let's say, group of senior most judges. Okay, so it is a kind of group of senior most judges of the Supreme Court, and these judges basically recommend the government. Okay, recommend the government for appointment. Okay, for appointment and transfer of judges. Okay, transfer of judges in various high courts in India. And also this, this collegium, they recommend the government for appointment of judges in the Supreme Court of India, like that. So this collegium system has been in news for long. However, in this article they have mentioned that these senior most judges of the Supreme Court of India, which comprises, let's say, collegium, so they have recommended the government for appointment of judges. However, the government of India is sitting with the paper with them. They have not taken a decision. So it is leading to a kind of situation which is known as pendency in appointments. Okay, pendency in appointments. Since there is a pendency in appointments of judges, the burden on the judiciary is increasing. Okay, burden on the judiciary is increasing. Why? Because number of cases that are being filed, they keep on increasing. Less number of judges will not be able to dispose of the, let's say, volume of let's say, like, cases that are coming out. So judiciary needs more judges so that, like, they can look into different cases, they can dispose of those cases on a timely manner. This is the thing. However, the collegium system has been in news because of various issues, right? What are the issues? We are going to discuss about them quickly. However, that thing is not mentioned in this article. Okay, so what are the issues with collegium system? One of the issue is that judges appoint judges. Okay, so here what happens? Judges appoint judges through collegium system. So people say it is opaque system. It is not, let's say, like, it is not a transparent system. So they take decision in closed doors. Okay, closed door decision is taken by the judges. And there is a case that says, let's say like, uncle judge syndrome, okay? Uncle judge syndrome. What is this? A senior judge recommends his junior or some other junior judge who is favorable, to be appointed in the Supreme Court of India. So that's also an issue with collegium system, okay? So there are many such issues with the collegium system. However, the Supreme Court of India has been focusing more on making this particular system, the judiciary, more transparent. Recently, the Chief Justice of India has, let's say taken many steps that makes the judiciary more transparent, okay? That's the thing. And related to this also, to address this issue of, let's say collegium thing. So recently the Supreme Court of India has talked about a transparent platform, a platform which is going to help in identifying those judges who are most talented, like who can be appointed as judges of the Supreme Court of India. So there was a platform that was announced by the Chief Justice of India, like Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, okay? That's the thing. So in this article, they say that number of judges are going down and number of cases are going up, okay? So in high courts, this is the sanctioned strength, which is 1,114, but number of judges who are working is 774. There are vacancies of 340 judges. In the Supreme Court, sanctioned strength is 34, working strength is 32, vacancies is 2, okay? So number of cases that are pending in high courts, it is, let's say, 60,72,729. Number of cases pending in high courts for more than a year, this is 45,22,000 this. And cases pending in the Supreme Court, 80,591. So these many cases are pending, okay? So recently one of the judge of the Supreme Court of India has said the judiciary is losing the talent because government is sitting on the names that are recommended by the collegium, okay, for appointment of judges. Now this is another topic. It says center softens angel tax rules, okay? So in this through this article we will understand about what do we mean by angel tax. We will understand about angel investors. We will understand about this particular topic, okay? So name of the topic is center softens angel tax rules, okay? Angel tax rules. This is the thing. Now let us understand about this topic. Basically in India we have let's say many companies that are categorized as startups, okay? Startups. So what are startups? Startups are those companies that are relatively small in size, that have been constituted for less than 3 years now. Those startups that has been established, companies that have been established which is less than 3 years, they are generally considered as startup companies. So these startup companies, they have, let's say, less manpower, they have less number of people who are working, and they have less funding with them, they have less money to grow the business. So these startups are in the need of, let's say, funding, okay? They are in the need of funding. So how do they get funding? They get funding from various sources. One of the sources is known as angel investors, okay? One of the sources, angel investors. So who are angel investors? These are those people who see some potential in this particular startup and they are willing to invest their money. They are willing to invest their money into this startup, in the hope that this startup is going to grow in future and it is going to generate profit for these startups. So let's say in return for the funding that they do, they take shares of the startup, means they become shareholders, okay? They become shareholders of the startups. These angel investors take risk, they become shareholders. But the issue is not as plain as we are discussing. There are many people who have huge amount of money with them. Let's say huge amount of money, unaccounted money. We also call it to be black money. So how these black money can be circulated? There are some people who act as angel investor and they invest their black money into these startup companies. And these startup companies, let's say like, their share, let's say share is X, its price is, let's say like, price of the share is, let's say Y. So generally what they do, they make this price to be 100 times, 1000 times, okay? So they do the higher valuation so that these angel investors purchase these shares at a very high cost, okay? Because like it is their interest to, let's say, circulate the money. So there is a issue related to what? Valuation of shares, okay? There is an issue related to valuation of shares of these let's say startups. And presently the government has some mechanism to value these shares. What are those mechanisms? One of the mechanism to value share valuation, okay? So let me write down this share valuation. One of the method they follow is net asset value method. Second is discounted, okay? Second is discounted free cash flow, okay? Discounted free cash flow method. So these are the methods that are followed for doing share valuation of these startups. However, recently the government of India has announced 5 additional share valuation methods, okay? Share valuation methods they have announced, and they have relaxed the norms for these startups. One of the relaxation is means like that the share valuation, the deviation, okay? They said that the deviation from actual fair, let's say like there is a fair valuation method, okay? There is a fair valuation method, means like if the shares are fairly priced, so government of India said like we will accept a deviation of up to 10%, okay? If deviation goes beyond 10%, that will be taxable, and that tax is known as angel tax, okay? That tax is known as angel tax. So in this article they say center softens angel tax rules, okay? So government introduced 5 different valuation, okay? Government has introduced 5 different valuation methods for shares and a 10% tolerance for deviation from the accepted share valuation. And these new rules will be applicable to the foreign investors, those investors who are overseas investors, let's say who are located in some other country and they invest in Indian shares, okay? These new valuation methods are not applicable to the resident investors. So that's all is mentioned in this article, and this notification has been given by the Central Board of Direct Taxes under Rule 11 UA under the Income Tax Act, okay? So this is the thing. So that's all in this article. So with this, let us quickly move to another topic. And we have a question also. It says, with reference to angel tax, consider the following statements. One of the statement is it is levied on capital raised by unlisted companies, okay? Generally the startup companies are unlisted companies. The capital that they raise, so this is like they raise from angel investors. Second, angel tax provisions are applicable only for investment received from resident investors. This is wrong. It is also applicable to, let's say, non-resident investors also, okay? Non-resident investors means like to the foreigners as well. So that's why second statement is wrong, first is right, and correct answer is option A. So having understood this, now let us talk about another topic. This topic says NABARD social bonds issue fetches 1000 crore. What is NABARD? NABARD is known as the National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. This is not a bank which is directly lending money to the farmers. It lends money through some other banking channels, let's say non-banking financial companies, cooperative banks and all. Through those banks, it lends money to the farmers. So this particular NABARD, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, they have raised capital from the market. They have raised money from the market by issuing bonds. And these bonds are known as social bonds, okay? These bonds are known as social bonds. So what do we mean by social bonds? we need to understand what is bond first. Okay, let us understand what is bond first. So bond is a kind of debt instrument. Okay, it is a kind of debt instrument. What do we mean by debt instrument? They, let's say, sell a bond paper. Let's say this is bond. Okay, bond, and people purchase this particular bond. People purchase this bond, and they pay money, right, in return for this. Let's say NABARD has thought of raising money from the market, so it issues bonds, and investors, people like us, right, so they can purchase those bonds, and we will be having the bond paper with us, and they will be having the money. Okay, so why do we want to invest into bonds? Because, like, they pay regular premium in the sense it is known as interest. Okay, so bonds are interest bearing instruments. So once you purchase a bond, you are going to get interest out of it. Okay, that's the thing. But what are social bonds? This is important. What are social bonds? These are those bonds, let's say, like, for which they have already declared that they are going to raise this money for a social cause. Social cause means for the establishment, let's say, of a hospital. Okay, hospital. So hospital is going to be a social infrastructure, or let's say for creation of some other infrastructure that has social benefits. And generally these bonds are also considered to be green bonds, because sometimes these bonds have some climatic issues also, means, like, they want to address the issue of climate, so they are considered to be green bonds. So they initially talk about, they declare for which purpose they are going to raise this money. Okay, that's the thing. Okay, so as users, we purchase these bonds and we get premium, we get, let's say, interest of these things. So NABARD has raised 1,000 crore rupees, right, through institutional placement. Means, like, institutions, like, institutions have purchased these bonds, and later on these bonds will be listed in the Bombay Stock Exchange. Okay, it will be listed on Bombay Stock Exchange, and after then people like me and you will be able to purchase these bonds. As of now, private institutions have purchased these bonds. This is another topic. It says exporters seek higher support under RoDTEP scheme. Now, India is an economy, right? India is an economy which does a business of export and import. Okay, it does a business of export and import. So the thing is, generally it should be the case that we do more export and we do less import, so that our export import thing is in surplus. But what is happening, that, like, we are doing lesser exports. Okay, so our exports has gone down. Okay, our exports have gone down. So this is an issue. To address this issue, the government of India does have a kind of scheme. This is known as remission of duties and taxes on exported products. Okay, remission of duties and taxes on exported products. It is known as RoDTEP scheme. Means, like, all the products that we are exporting, so on this, the taxes that the government is applying, so it is going to reduce that taxes. If taxes is reduced, so our goods will be cheaper in the international market. So people will be buying more of the goods, more goods that Indians are producing. So it's going to boost our exports. So it is going to boost, or means it's going to increase our exports. Okay, that's the thing. So the industry, exporters have sought from the government that, like, we should be given higher support under the RoDTEP scheme. So in that regard, the government of India has, let's say, like, extended the period of application of this scheme for 9 more months. So that is what is mentioned in this article. Okay, so I hope you might have understood this topic. With this, we will talk about another topic. It says Indians eat more salt than WHO recommendation. So the thing is, the World Health Organization has recommended that a person should intake 5 grams of salt per day. Okay, so this is the standard amount of salt that we as let's say, like, citizens or persons can consume, a healthy adult can consume. Okay, but the thing is, in India, what happens, people consume on an average 8 grams of salt per day. Okay, 8 grams of salt per day. So consumption of more salt leads to a condition which is known as hypertension. Okay, it is known as hypertension. So what is hypertension? Hypertension means increased blood pressure. Okay, means like when your blood pressure increases, so it leads to a condition which is known as hypertension. And because of hypertension, people develop cardiovascular diseases. Okay, people develop cardiovascular diseases, means heart attack can happen, blood clotting can happen in the arteries of the heart. Okay, so because of heart attack, people may die. Okay, a lot of people actually die because of heart attack globally. So in this article, they have talked about that Indians consume more salt, and what are the ways that we consume more salt? In this article, they have mentioned namkeen, papad, packaged chips, soya, mustard sauce, etc. And like, you know, we consume pickles also, that has more, let's say, salt. Okay, so through these things we consume salt. However, we need to reduce our salt intake. If we reduce our salt intake, we will be able to control our blood pressure. Okay, high BP will not happen. This is another article. This is related to science and technology. Okay, it is related to science and technology. So let's talk about this topic. It says assessment of space situation done to ensure safety of Aditya L-1. Okay, so let's quickly understand about this Aditya L-1. So I'm quickly going to write the name of the topic to be Aditya L-1. So what is Aditya L-1? Aditya L-1 is the first solar mission of India. Okay, it is the first solar mission of India. Mark the word India, because like, you know, there are many other countries who have already launched their solar mission. Okay, so let's say this is Earth. Okay, this is Earth. From Earth, we have launched a spacecraft which is known as Aditya L-1. This spacecraft is going to reach a place which is known as L1 point. This L1 point is located 1.5 million kilometer away, which is 15 lakh kilometer away from the surface of the Earth. Okay, how much distance? 15 lakh kilometer away. This distance is equal to 4 times the distance between Earth and Moon. Okay, distance between Earth and Moon. It is 4 times the distance between Earth and Moon. And this particular distance, I mean, like if we talk about the sun, where is sun located? Let's say, like, you know, this is where is sun located. So this particular distance from here to here is 1% of the distance of the sun. 99% this particular point will be away from the sun. Okay, we have launched Aditya L-1. That had been launched by ISRO on 2nd of September, if I'm not wrong. So it is, let's say, on its journey. Okay, this is on its journey towards L1 point. So what is L1 point? L1 means, L means Lagrange point. So Lagrange points are those points in the space between two heavenly bodies like Earth and Sun, where a third body, let's say spacecraft, faces very less gravity, means like it is able to stay in a stable position without consuming much fuel for a long period of time. So that's why we have chosen this particular spot to do the study on sun. So Aditya L-1 mission, through this mission we want to study the corona of the sun, which is the outermost layer of the atmosphere of the sun. We want to study about coronal mass ejection. So it does have various objectives, right? This mission has many objectives, so we want to study about that. Okay, so this mission has been launched, and between Earth and Sun, how many Lagrange points do we have? We have 5 Lagrange points. So L1 point is located between these two bodies. L2 point is located, let's say, to the opposite side of Earth. Let's say this is L2 point. Okay, and let's say this is the moon. Okay, so this is L2 point will be, let's say, opposite to the Earth. L3 point will be opposite to the sun. Okay, this will be known as L3 point. The L4 point is located somewhere here, and L5 point is located somewhere here. Okay, L5 point will be located somewhere here. So between two bodies like Earth and Sun, we have 5 Lagrange points. How many points? 5 Lagrange points. One between them, other opposite to the smaller body. then third one is opposite to the larger body, fourth one is here, fifth one is here. These are the L1 points. Now in this article, they say, in this article they have mentioned about a kind of, let's say like, assessment, about a kind of assessment that they have conducted. It is known as assessment of space situation, means like to see whether the space is congenial, for our Aditya L1 mission. Okay, so this assessment has been done by ISRO, but this is not the first assessment. Before this, they have done many other assessments. I am going to showcase all those assessments with you. But is India the first country to have a solar mission? No. There are many other countries that already had their solar mission. They already have their spacecraft situated in the L1 point. L1 is a very big space. Let's say it's not a very small point. So there are already many other spacecrafts are there. Which spacecrafts are already there? So they are known as Wind, Solar and Heliospheric Observatory, SOHO, Advanced Composition Explorer, ACE, and the Deep Space Climate Observatory, DISCOVER. Okay, so these are 4 operational spacecrafts at L1 point. These are already there. Okay, these are already there. That's the thing. So in this topic, they have talked about Lagrange point orbit. Okay, so like once this particular Aditya L1 reaches here, so it's going to let's say like revolve around a halo orbit. This is known as halo orbit. It's going to revolve around it. Okay, that's the thing. So I hope you might have understood this topic. Now quickly see, here we have mentioned about what is Aditya L1 mission. Also the objectives of Aditya L1 mission has been mentioned over here. You can go through these objectives. It is important because in UPSC GS paper 3 this year they have already asked about the objectives of the Chandrayaan mission. Okay, Chandrayaan 3 mission. Okay, so that I have already taught in a classroom in detail. All the objectives I have mentioned earlier, and so these are some of the assessments that ISRO has already done related to Aditya L1. So that's all from my side for the day. Thank you so much everyone for attending today's session. I hope you have a good day ahead. Thank you.